Hello and welcome, everybody. My name is Ricky, and this is Filmtopia Live, a show where we bring you the entire, uh, where we bring you breaking news of the day and just relevant news to everything movies. We have a special episode for you today. It is actually episode number one. This is a historic and just heartwarming moment for Filmtopia, for all my fellow Filmtopians. We are launching this as a weekly daily show, as a Monday through Friday show. You can catch us here at 9 a.m. every single morning during the week. And I am just beyond ecstatic to bring you this project that we've been working on, that we've been waiting to launch. And I just thought July 1st, being the first day of the second half of 2021, just seems so fitting. And the vibes are here, the energy is here. And without further ado, let me show you who else is here. And that is Mr. Jonah and Mr. Anthony. You know what the vibes are. How are we doing, fellas?
Doing good, baby.
Doing
real
great. Great to be here.
Welcome to Filmtopia Live, episode number one. Can you, does that register yet for any of you?
No.
I don't know if it does for me yet.
Kinda. I mean, I know, I just can't believe that, it's been 5 months that I've been a part of this community, and here we are now doing what will be a daily live stream.
Yeah. That's it's something that I'm just I'm flabbergasted. I don't know what else to say except that this has culminated into what we're seeing right now is us three on screen all the way from January 14th when this channel was first started, to see it grow, and to see us be able to develop friendships because of this. I think that's probably the most inspirational part of it. So I just want to welcome everybody to the show. As you can tell, this is episode one, so there might be some kinks and some road bumps along the way, but I think that's the beauty of Filmtopia, is that we're willing to do that out in the open. We're willing to experience it with you, because at the end of the day, I know that we have it within us to get better, to give it everything we've got. So I appreciate everybody that is here right now, and yeah. So I'm still going a little crazy. Let's break down the format of the show, if that's okay. This show, right, if you were coming over and maybe you subscribe because of the awesome watch parties we do, which little small plug, make sure you are there for the episode 5 of Loki watch party live stream we do. It starts at 10 p.m. Pacific Standard Time on the Tuesdays before the Wednesdays. We're basically here 2 hours before the premiere of Loki episode 5, and then we go all the way probably 2 hours after the episode actually premieres. So it's a boatload of fun if you haven't already been. I would recommend, if there's one thing you got to check out, it's those watch parties, because straight up, it's just vibes. vibes, and you'll understand what that means if you go check it out. But let me break down this show. This show's a bit different. This show is what I would say is a daily talk show of sorts. Think of, don't even think. Let us show you. But essentially what we're going to do is we're going to break down the topics for either that day or the day before, just relevant movie news topics. And the reason why, the inspiration behind it, is because I find myself every single morning, and I'm sure my co-hosts do as well. We find ourselves every single morning waking up to breaking news, waking up to amazing news that gets our day going, and we don't have anybody to talk about it with. We may retweet it on Twitter. We may, press on an IG story and watch it there. but I know for myself, I never have anybody to like discuss it with and just share my enthusiasm with. So this is the perfect platform for this. I think what you're gonna catch is vibes during the morning. It's gonna help your morning or your mid afternoon, and you're gonna get caught up on what's going on. And yeah, and you know what, guys? And one thing, if you're watching this, whether it's live or whether it's on the replay, one thing I want to start is every morning we're gonna start the show, but I want to start it off with a quote from you guys. I want to start it off with a quote from you guys that you guys are gonna leave in the comments. So, for example, I'm gonna start the show saying, "Hi, my name is Ricky. This is Filmtopia, and why so serious?" So essentially, make sure it's, "Hi, I'm Ricky. This is Filmtopia," and then blank blank. You fill in the blank with some famous movie quotes, and I'll make sure to start off the next show like that. I think that's going to be a cool way to like get everybody involved. And as we grow, as we build this, there's going to be a lot more ways to be able to integrate you guys into the show. But one of the key differences between this show and the watch party is the watch party is really, really driven by you guys and by the comments. This show right here, because we have to do pre-production and because we meet a few minutes before to discuss, you know, to plan out the show, we are going to highlight and look at the comments in certain areas of the show. So I'm thinking at the beginning of the show, at the middle of the show, of the show, and at the end of the show. That way, you guys can get the best from us. You guys can get the best insights from us. Let us run through the topics that we plan for the day, and I think it's going to make for an amazing show. Seriously, like and like I said, right now that we're starting, I do want to welcome Jonah Anthony. Collaborative Kiwi Studios is in the house. Let's go. Thank you. He is in New Zealand, I believe, or is it? I believe in New Zealand. So welcome from New Zealand. Kyle IKI is here. Welcome. He says, "Sup, guys? Nice to see you again. It is great to see you too. I am ecstatic that you are here." Josh from NY, guys. I want to spotlight Josh from NY. Josh from NY was here since the Wandavision watch parties. And me and him have connected over Instagram. So one day, hopefully, he'll be able to jump on the streams for the watch parties, because I know that was something he actually brought up early on. He's a proponent as to why I started bringing on people for the watch parties. So shout out to Josh. And it's already starting. Collaborative Kiwi says, "Hi, I'm Ricky, and we're about to get our head in the game." And if anybody out there knows, two things. One, that is from High School Musical, and two, Collaborative Kiwi is a massive fan of High School Musical, and he actually has a whole channel about it. You should definitely check that out. I do see Coffee Talking Tech is in the house. He says he is at work, but he is just saying hi, and that is very very gracious of you. Thank you so much, Coffee Talking Tech, for stopping by. Ben is also here. He is waving at us. Well, we are waving back at you. Ben, thank you for being here. Both Ben and Coffee Talking Tech have amazing channels as well. You guys got to check them out. But with that said, I do want to integrate my co-host now, and just, guys, what do you think of the first intro? What do you guys think of the first part of the show so far?
I mean, we got our stuff going. We got this. Definitely not panicking inside, but we got it.
That's a good one, man.
Hey, as the residential everyman, I'm terrified. No, feeling good. Hey, what's up? What's up, people in the chat? What's up, fellow Filmtopians, my castmates? Hey, it's your boy Ant. Loving it, loving the energy. It's going to be great. It's going to be a great journey. We look forward to going on this adventure with you guys and bringing you some news, our own personal opinions, and integrating that with what you guys think about the daily news and things that are popping off. And again, it's always about that VIBES. Yes.
Oh, okay.
Let's go.
Okay.
It
It's
says
that
it right across his
VIP.
shirt.
It is.
That is an amazing shirt. Anthony, by the way, everybody, I just want to let everybody know, just as surprised as you are at his shirts, we are also surprised behind the scenes. He just busts them out and gives us a cool little jolt in the mornings and on stream nights. So we appreciate that, Anthony. I can't wait to see your next shirt. So with that said, what do you guys say about getting started? Let's just do it.
Let's go.
Let's do it.
Let's do it. Let's do it, baby. So, thank you everybody for being here. Our first topic is something near and dear to my heart because this movie, this franchise that I'm about to talk about is, I would say, the first, like one of my first memories. Besides Pixar and like Toy Story, Lion King, or Walt Disney's Lion King, Bug's Life, besides those is something called Jurassic Park. Jurassic Park and the Jurassic World franchise is very, very special to me because when I was a kid, I say this all the time to my mom, but when I was a kid, my three favorite things in life were dinosaurs, space and technology, and movies. Like, those are my three things. If you could attach anything to me, those are my three things. If you could look into my brain and into my thoughts, those were the three thoughts that were constantly there that never left my mind. So Jurassic Park to me is one of my all-time favorite movies. I think I've definitely watched it over 50 times. But today we are obviously like 20 years removed from Jurassic Park 1. We are now in the Jurassic World franchise, and we are actually on movie number 3. And to think how far it's come is pretty incredible. I am a pretty big fan of the Jurassic World franchise as well. But I think that lends itself to this question. And to this question, as you see, it says, what are your expectations for Jurassic World Dominion? And Anthony, Jonah, first and foremost, let's get your just like, what's your relationship with Jurassic Park and the Jurassic World franchises? Were you guys fans? Anthony, I'll let you go first.
Yeah, thanks, man. Hey, listen, when I was growing up, similarly, I used to draw dinosaurs all the time. I grew up on Godzilla and shows like Spectre Man and Ultraman and Johnny Sacco and his flying robots. So I love all that stuff. I love all the creature features, Gamera, the flying turtle, you name it, right? So when Godzilla came out, when Jurassic Park came out, the originals with Spielberg, I was pleasantly surprised because it felt like real dinosaurs. It was none of that claymation, stop motion. It wasn't people in suits, rubber suits running around. I mean, it was real dinosaur vibes, and the whole explanation as to even how dinosaurs came to be in Jurassic Park, the explanation of it and everything. And I just fell in love with the franchise. And as the franchise progressed, it was ebbs and flows. There were some movies that I didn't like as much as others. And then there was this lull. And when it came back with this, this new iteration of Jurassic Park, I was all in. And really feeling the dinosaur vibes again. And the first one I really loved a lot. Second one, I still enjoyed it, but it wasn't as good as the first one. So this last one, I'm ready. I'm ready for them to just bring it, like totally bring it. I want to see dinosaurs running around neighborhoods and going to the library and just getting buck wild. So yeah, I'm all in. I'm all in.
I love that. And I love how you didn't mention Jurassic Park 3. It's okay. We don't talk about that here. Yeah. Jonah, my man, I know I actually want to find out what are your thoughts on just Jurassic Park, Jurassic World, the entire Jurassic franchise?
Well, I came late to the party with Jurassic Park. I didn't see it until I was 13, maybe. which I'm really young, so
Mm.
that's not too long ago. But I really found it because of John Williams
Mm.
composing for it. Um, I loved his music for Star Wars, and I was addicted to Star Wars as a kid. I was spoiled and got to grow up watching Star Wars on a 94-inch TV because my grandpa had really bad eyesight. So I was basically in a movie theater whenever I went over to his house, and we always watched A New Hope together. That was kind of our thing. So once I figured out that John Williams was the composer and I loved the music, I was like, what else did he compose from
Mm.
this era? And then I found Jurassic Park and I watched it and loved it. And it's been on and off for me with how everything is with the franchise. Like I've loved it and I've hated it and I've loved it and I've hated it. Like the movie, like each movie is very different for me. The original is by far the best, um, and you can say anything you want to me about that opinion, but that is what I believe. Um, and with this one, if Grimlock is not the main antagonist dinosaur, then I'm going to riot.
And
Me, Grimlock.
with that, ladies and gentlemen, I did want to interject on that John Williams point. Uh, yes, John Williams is a staple in my life. Like he is essentially the soundtrack to how I've lived my life, whether it's through Star Wars, Harry Potter, Jurassic. Like I'm getting the chills thinking about how incredible this man is. Like I cannot believe it. The list goes on and on and on and on. I hope it continues to go on and on. That man is a legend. So, in the chat, if you were watching, type in John Williams, show John Williams some love. Um, but to that point about Jurassic Park and Jurassic World, I let me share my experience with it. So the first time I ever saw Jurassic Park, number one, I I was exactly like you see Sam Neill. I was exactly how you see all the actors when they see the dinosaur for the first time. Um, it was like taking off my sunglasses, hair's a mess, and I just cannot believe my eyes. As even as a kid, right? Even as a youngling, I was very in tune with like movies and filmmaking. I was one of those kids that actually watched it knowing it was a movie, but it didn't take away from my experience. And I say that to say, even though I knew when I saw the dinosaur for the first time, um, I I, I couldn't I couldn't like figure out how they did that. I couldn't figure out, was it VFX, was it animatronics, was it like what was going on? I just knew that it looked incredible. And then by the time we get to the Tyrannosaurus Rex, the T Rex. Oh my gosh, I'm getting chills again, guys. Oh man, type in chills. But I'm getting chills because that is like a very, very permanent memory. And maybe for some that's a scary memory. But for me, it is a memory that I will forever cherish. I wish, to be honest, I wish I was named Rex instead of Ricky, instead of Rick. I wish my name was Rex. And you know what? Who knows? Maybe I'll change it down the line to Rex at some point. But I do really just appreciate the franchise. Going on to the Lost World, Jurassic Park 2, it was obviously a precipitous fall off. But in terms of fun for me, it was very fun because we got two T Rex. We got to see two Tyrannosaurus Rex. And so, again, if you're judging it on fun or if you're judging it on the merit of it being a good, well-made movie, there's a disparity there. Because I had a lot of fun, whether it's one, two, three, Jurassic World 1, Jurassic World 2. I usually have fun because, like I said, dinosaurs are my thing. But I'd be remiss to say, if I didn't mention the faults in the franchise. And in the faults of the franchise is why I bring up the question, which is, what are our expectations for Jurassic World Dominion? In Jurassic World 1, I thought they actually did a fantastic job of revitalizing the franchise. Another point, maybe that's biased, but I'm like a sucker for Hawaii. Anytime you film anything in Hawaii, I will watch it, and even if it's really, really bad, but the fact that the setting and the sets were all in Hawaii were incredible. Now in the movie, it's considered like Costa Rica, but behind the scenes, it was actually Hawaii. So a lot of greenery, a lot of just good vibes. And so Jurassic World 1 I thought was a hit, and the box office showed it. It turned out to be the highest grossing box office 3-day weekend movie of all time. It beat out Iron Man 3. And it's always cool. I don't know about you guys, this is a little variant timeline, but I love when studios like send each other the posters of them beating their predecessor. Like Jurassic World passed on the torch to, I believe it was one of the Marvel movies, and then Marvel passed it back to Avatar, and then Avatar back to Endgame. I love when they do that. I think it's a very cool way to like pass the torch of the box office king. But now that takes us to Jurassic World 2, which I will be completely honest, I thought was I thought they could have done better. But it didn't take away from the fun like I mentioned earlier. I still had a lot of fun, but the movie has its flaws. But one of the plus sides, one of the positives to number 2, and just like Colin Trevorrow really being the head honcho of that series, because if you guys know, Colin Trevorrow actually was in a way kicked off of Star Wars Episode 9, so he got to really, really focus in on the Jurassic World franchise. So as I said, he is the head honcho over there. But post Jurassic World 2, or was it pre? You guys are going to need to help me on this. But I know they put out like a short film. It was called Jurassic World.
It was post.
It was post, right? Okay, so it was after Jurassic World 2. They put out a little short film, like a 10-minute short film. I don't know if you guys have watched it.
Is that the one with the black family?
It's like where they're at a campsite and they get bombarded by these dinosaurs that are out in the wild. This is now in the United States.
No, this is a different one. I have to see.
Yeah. So spoiler alert, everybody. Spoiler alert. Right now, I'm going to talk about Jurassic World 2 in spoiler fashion. Well, at the end of that movie, we see dinosaurs brought over to the United States, and they escape the compound that they're in, and now they're in the wild. Now they're in the United States. Sort of like how the T-Rex was on the loose in Jurassic Park 2. Now there's a bunch of different variety of those dinosaurs in the United States running around. And so one of the short films we got from Colin Trevorrow after Jurassic World 2 was a little just showing us what the world's starting to look like now that these dinosaurs are out and about. And we see this family at this campsite, and their whole campsite gets ravaged by these dinosaurs. And so the reason why I'm bringing that up, though, is because I just think the what do you call it? Like the uniqueness to this franchise and the way Colin Trevorrow is going about it is very intriguing to me, because they're not afraid to like go there. And I like that about the franchise. I like that about the filmmakers doing this. Even though Jurassic World 2 was a miss for me, I have full faith in Jurassic World Dominion. I feel like this is going to be, I was going to say this is where the Empire Strikes Back, but no, this is where I think we're going to get a good redemption and a good, I don't even know if it's a finale. I don't even know if they're going for a trilogy, but if this was a trilogy, I think this is going to be possibly their strongest swing to date. But Jonah, I wanted to ask you, because I know you're on the opposite side of the fence on this one. You're of the mindset that Jurassic World Dominion is actually not going to be good. and I want to hear why.
I've lost faith in Jurassic World. Um, the first one was great. There was a lot of action. There was a lot of dinosaurs. There was a lot of everything that you want in a Jurassic Park movie. The second one was really, really subpar, in my opinion. The whole auctioning off dinosaurs idea was like, why? Why?
Mhm.
Like, this has nothing to do with what we've talked about for years,
Mhm.
and it kind of ruined the rest. Like, it kind of makes me like not look forward to what's to come, and that's why I have the ridiculously unreal expectation of Grimlock, um, because this franchise has already fallen apart. Why not try and mend it by bringing in uh,
A
something else?
transformer, a
Yeah,
transformer.
yeah. Because we all know that Transformers hasn't died as well. I mean, Universal can do it. Why not? But I I'm gonna go into the movie with just no. I'm gonna go in and hope to like it, but I'm not going in with prejudice at all. But I'm not looking forward to it at the same time. I'll go and see it with my friends, but um, I'm not looking forward to it.
No, and I really wanted to hear that side of the fandom on this because, um, like I said, I'm not on that side, so I want to hear why. And you make some great points. Anthony, I want to hear what you got to say though. I actually don't know what your opinion is on Jurassic World Dominion.
Sure. I kind of more lean towards Jonah when it comes to this opinion. I will say that when I think about the Jurassic Park as a whole,
Mhm.
the entire franchise, I kind of put them into two separate boxes, right? So you have the first three, and now you have these up this three, this iteration, and the first three I liked a little bit more because the second movie in this new iteration, it brought me down. I didn't like the auction and stuff. I thought that was trash. But
Mhm.
I always do the same thing when I always say, okay, that movie was and then when the new movie comes, I then lower my expectations and I become excited, hoping that they can redeem themselves, right?
Mhm.
So with the addition of the old cast from the first iteration, bringing some of them over to this new iteration, it's kind of like it feels like, oh, they're getting the band back together. And so I'm really excited about that because I like interactions. So I want to
Mhm.
see Chris Pratt interact with Jeff Goldblum, right? I want to see
Yeah.
Laura Dern. I want
Yeah.
to see Sam Neill because Sam Neill's kind of like he's like the expert when it comes to the anthropology of the dinosaurs, while Chris Pratt is more like a wrangler, right?
Yeah.
And so I love that the idea of melding all those personalities together into one film. And my understanding also is that Steven Spielberg is going to be a little bit more involved in this one because he said that he'd like to do a couple of more films after this one. So uh, hopes, springs eternal. I hope that it pops off. I'll be there with popcorn in hand, ready to
Yeah.
rock. Because hey, listen, a year and a half of what we've been going through around the world. I can't wait to get back into the theaters. So
Yeah.
I'm excited. Let's go.
And that actually brings up the point that of like the excitement that I have with the filmmakers behind this current franchise is we're getting things such as and I see it in the chat. So thank you for pointing that out. So Camp Cretaceous, that is a Netflix series that is about Jurassic World. It takes place in the Jurassic world. And then Battle of Little Rock was the short film. That was the name of it. So for any of you wondering, that is what it was called. But see, I already named two things that they're branching out from this franchise that I think fits perfectly and it's not doing the most, it's not doing too much. I think it's actually enhancing the experience. And then thirdly, this past weekend, Fast 9 came out, F9 came out, and the way they were trying to get you to go watch the movie was they attached a 5-minute, I don't even know if it's a short film as well, to a 5-minute IMAX short film of Jurassic World Dominion. I personally haven't seen it yet. I don't know if my co-hosts have. Have you?
Nope.
Yeah.
My brother might have, but I haven't seen F9.
Yeah.
Another franchise that has gotten ridiculously out of proportion.
Let me get to that really quick. So we obviously haven't seen Fast 9 or the Jurassic World short film that they attached to it, but it goes back to, I think, their marketing, I think their intentions. I think that's a huge thing for me with movies. When your intentions are good or when your intentions are transparent, like this franchise has been thus far, and just them being self-conscious and self-aware of where they may fall short, that's a testament again to Colin Trevorrow. Also the writers of the movie, I don't know if anybody knows, but one of the writers, her name is Emily Carmichael. A huge shout out to her because she's actually I watched a video of hers on Variety, the YouTube channel, and it was like how to write a screenplay in like 10 minutes, and she wrote one on the spot. And there's more of a backstory to that, but essentially she's a co-writer on the Jurassic World 3 movie. And going back to intentions, I think with her attached to it, I think there's a promise, like there's good promise for this movie. And one thing I wanted to point out for Jurassic World 2 that I want to get your guys' opinion on is the auction. Yes, it wasn't great, but I think if you look a little beyond that and you think of really why it bothered us, I think one of the things that really bothered me was the fact that that movie felt contained. It felt like we were inside of a house when that franchise and that movie should have been able to breathe, able to like be in this huge world. Do you guys feel similar in that sense? Like that it felt like you were in a cage when Jurassic World 2 should have been, set free?
I think that was the intention.
There you go.
I think that was the intention, to create this suspense and this horror by, they're locked. All these rich people are locked in this house, this mansion or this compound while dinosaurs are running wild around. So it's highly likely. Again, I expect there to be some form of course correction because, again, you've got to open this thing back up because of the addition of the old cast, adding them to this iteration. I think they've really got to start to open up that space. So I'm expecting a different atmosphere for this next movie.
I agree with that. I don't know if they necessarily so the movie felt like two different movies to me. The first half felt like it was Jurassic World. The second half felt like it was not even in the Jurassic park like style at all.
Would you say it felt like a side mission?
It definitely did. It definitely it felt like we're capturing all these dinosaurs and we're blowing up because the island's being blown up, and like it just felt like all these things were becoming too convenient. It felt like it was one convenient thing led to another that led to this auction. And it just felt like there was so much stuff that was going on that there was not like a way for the movie to feel natural to me. It felt like it was very coincidence after coincidence after coincidence. Like, oh, like we just captured the T-Rex randomly. We were able to take down like all the dinosaurs and capture the ones that we want to keep, not like evacuate all of them and whatnot. Like it just
shout out to the T-Rex, by the way. Shout out to that T-Rex. I found this out via movie trivia like last year or a few years ago that T-Rex that we've seen in if you see a T-Rex in any of the movies, apparently it is the same one from Jurassic Park 1. So that same T-Rex, female T-Rex, is the same one. I thought that's a cool fact. Let me know in the chat if you guys knew that. Type in female T-Rex.
Hey, can I ask you a quick question?
Yes.
When you say it's the same one, you mean it's the same one in the movies, or it's the same one like the animatronic robot is the same one?
No. Same character. They're
Okay.
maintaining the same character.
Wow.
That was revealed, I believe, a little after her appearance in Jurassic World 1.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah, that's pretty
It's
cool.
Rexy. It's Rexy.
Yeah.
Okay.
I love it. I love
All
it.
right.
But you know what's funny though? Speaking of the speaking of that short film that they attached, that again, if anybody in the chat has seen it, let us know. Don't spoil it, but do let us know if it was good or not. That was attached to a movie, another movie that Universal owns, has the rights to. And again, Universal Studios is a very, very big studio. It houses Spider-Man, like the Spider-Man franchise, like all the characters, the rights to the characters, the Fast Saga, Jurassic World, and a plethora of a lot more. And a quick correction, shout out to the chat for this one, but Paramount is actually Transformers, guys. Paramount.
Universal has the rights, though. That's why they have them at the park.
Oh, no, but
I know that the studio technically is Paramount, but
Yeah.
Universal has the rights to use them,
Mhm.
which is why they have that whole area at Universal Studios.
Yeah, well, with that, going back to the short film of that was attached to Fast 9, there are these rumors that Universal Pictures wants to combine Jurassic World and the Fast Saga in some way. And as you can see on screen, we are definitely just taken aback by that, because now, if anybody's seen Fast 9 and we haven't seen Fast 9, or I haven't seen Fast 9, but the reviews and just well-sourced people that I watch and trust have just beaten this movie down to bits. Fast 9 apparently has gotten to the point where it's so ridiculous it's not even funny. Like it's so conscious of itself that it's actually a detriment to itself. But with that, maybe we don't have to trash on F9 or anything too much, but I do want to hear your opinions. I want to hear it on record. What do you guys think of combining Jurassic World and the Fast Saga together in some way? Now, how about this? How about I partition this question? If it were to be in some subtle way, would it be fine? Or if it was just a complete mashup, like what do you guys think?
It depends. Are we keeping it in the same timeline that we're currently in with Jurassic Park, or are we doing something completely different?
Yeah.
The way that the Fast and Furious franchise has it started like this, and then it went like this, and then that. I haven't seen F9. I have no interest in seeing F9. I have no interest in seeing F10 plus Jurassic World. Or whatever it would be. Yeah.
So for me, first of all, as someone who loved the franchise, I feel they should have ended on the final movie when Paul Walker passed away.
Such an amazing movie.
That was a fantastic way to end it, with the two cars kind of going off and they're looking at each other. To me, they stuck the landing. They had the perfect song, everything. It was fantastic. Yeah. And so to me, they should have stopped. After that, it feels more like a cash grab moving forward. And so haven't loved the movies, the submarine movie, the movie when that was ridiculous. And now
that was the last one.
Yeah. And now I haven't seen this latest one. I'll wait for it for streaming. If I'm going to catch COVID, I'm going to catch it for a good movie. And so, my feeling is that, them melding it with Jurassic Park would be in keeping with this motif of upping the ante with every movie. So yeah, you'd have Chris Pratt's character is Dom's long lost cousin, and he's like, "Hey man, you want to come over and check out my park?" Yeah, I'll bring my friends with me, and they show up, and dinosaurs get loose and they're in cars running around, and it's bananas. So.
That actually, thank you for saying that, because now that sparked what's in my head. So I am not wishing that this happens. I do not want this to turn into a reality. I want those franchises to stay as far apart away as they can. The closest thing that they can be is at Universal Studios, the theme park. But I'll tell you this. You guys know me. I trust in Feige. I always say that. Type in the chat right now. Trust in Feige. But I have this, I don't know if it's misplaced, but I have this trust in Colin Trevorrow and what he's doing, that I don't think he's going to let that happen. Even though he obviously is not the studios and he's not that powerful, I do think that the plan is not to sully Jurassic World, especially if they have a hit with Jurassic World Dominion on their hands. If they have, because think about it, guys. Just let's fast forward 5 years. Chat. Let's fast forward 5 years and think. Jurassic World, Jurassic World 1, 2, and 3. 1 was pretty good in my opinion. 2 was not that great, but 3 comes back and knocks it out of the park. Us as the fans in 5 years are gonna. That's a 2 out of 3. That's a. I can't do math right now, but that's a certain percentage. And
66.67%.
Yes, that is 66%. That is that I think is a good batting record for this trilogy. Now, with that said, I think if Jurassic World 3, aka Dominion, is a hit, I think that Universal is going to recognize. Let's leave it alone. Colin Trevorrow knows what he's doing. Camp Cretaceous was actually good. The short films he keeps making are intriguing. It's new. It's a new injection of life into Hollywood. In a way, he was kind of doing what Disney Plus and streaming are doing for its theatrical show or theatrical experiences, where you're enhancing it outside of it. And so Colin Trevorrow was on that way before Disney Plus even arrived. So I say that to say, let's see what happens with Jurassic World 3. And let's pray. Let's pray. Prayers in the chat that Jurassic World Dominion is really, really good.
Please, no Dinobots. None.
No Dinobots. No Dinobots. No Dino cars. No, let's leave it alone. Let's leave it alone. But on one point that Anthony said, which was, if I'm going to go to the movie theaters and catch something, it's going to have to be for something really, really good. And very, very soon, we have a little something called Black Widow. Black Widow is coming to theaters, I believe, July 9th. I am just over the moon for that. I think it's going to be incredible. Things that I'm hearing online, spoiler free, are that it does a wonderful job. But that lends itself to that same day, we're going to get episode 5 of Loki. Episode Jonah says.
On the Wednesday before Black Widow.
Sorry, you're right. Thank you for the correction. That same week, we're going to get Loki episode 5. Boom! That is crazy. That is. Oh my gosh! For any of you out there, we are going to be doing watch parties for both Loki episode 5 Tuesday going into Wednesday, and then Thursday going into Friday. We're also going to do a live watch party for Black Widow, and then my first movie theater experience, and hopefully my co-host here as well. Black Widow will be the first movie that they also see in theaters. And we'll explain a little bit more about that later. But I am just over the moon. I cannot wait for this coming week. It's going to be Marvel all the way. And Feige we trust. And that brings up episode 4 of Loki, which is something that we didn't get to talk about in our post, the next day spoiler discussion. So I think this is an appropriate place to do that. really quick, I just want to hear your guys' thoughts and ratings of episode 4 of Loki for not only the series. I'm basically giving it away now, but not only the series, but for all the Disney Plus shows that have come out thus far.
You want us to rank individual episodes?
I want you to just rank. I want you to tell me how high on your list episode 4 of Loki is right now, today.
Oh, God.
I'll go first. How about this? You guys can think about it. I'm going to say there is season 2 Mandalorian finale, number 1, and number 2 is episode 4 of Loki.
Okay, stop.
Oh, wait.
Stop it.
And
Stop.
then
Mandalorian finale with Luke Skywalker?
yes.
Come on, bro. that was bananas. We can't even let's not go there.
Let's keep it within Marvel. Let's keep it within Marvel.
Yeah, let's keep it within Marvel.
So and actually, okay, so in Marvel then. So everybody now knows, spoiler, my number 1 episode of all time on Disney Plus that lives on the show is The Mandalorian season 2 finale. Oh my God, we can talk about that for an entire show. But if we're going to keep it contained to Marvel, here we go. I've got Loki episode 4, number 1. Number 2, I've got Captain
Falcon.
America and the Winter Soldier, that's what it's called now. Captain America and the Winter Soldier. When we finally get to see Sam Wilson as Captain America, that was number 2 for me. And then number 3 is WandaVision, the episode where what's his name comes back, Quicksilver. Evan Peters comes back. I really enjoyed that episode because just that energy at that moment, it was a different experience for me, man. Like that was our first huge thing, especially with Filmtopia and watch parties. That was like a huge day. So those are my top 3. What about you guys?
Well, for me, this was my favorite episode of Loki. This was the best episode for me. I think that my favorite episode for the Falcon and Winter Soldier series was the episode when I think they go to Mandrapore, they're in the bar, and it's like kind of and they're kind of pretending and
episode 3.
And Baron Zemo, speaks to Winter Soldier as if he's still Winter Soldier, like attack or whatever. that whole episode. So cool. I love that episode. That episode was dope. And for WandaVision, I love the finale. I like thinking pieces. Seeing Vision and White Vision have that discussion while they're going around in a circle. That gave me all the feels. I was just like, I love this conversation that these two intellects are having. That was fantastic, man. So yeah, that's kind of where I'm at. I'm not ready yet to rank them against each other until I see the entire piece. So we got 2 more episodes to go, and then I'd be willing to rank the 3 shows, which one's the best. So that's kind of where I'm at right now.
I appreciate that. Yeah, no, definitely. Once this show is over, I think we'll have a really, really good gauge on how to rank everything. But until then, I'm just gonna say it. I think Loki's gonna take that top spot. But again, we've been bamboozled before, so we don't know. We gotta watch episodes 5 and 6. Jonah, what about you? Where are you ranking this? What are your feelings?
I'm gonna do it similarly to how Anthony did with the keeping them within each show kind of thing. Episode 4 is definitely the best in Loki by far. Proves my theory. So I mean, it's got to be the best. But I think episode 5 is going to be better. It's only going up from here, in my opinion. So 5 and 6 are going to hopefully take the cake even more. As far as Falcon and Winter Soldier, my favorite episode, episode 4, the John Walker scene was just...
Oh my gosh, that scene was crazy.
That one scene...
That was crazy. Man, I love reminiscing about the MCU. It's the Disney Plus shows.
And then WandaVision has to. The only episode that makes sense is the finale. The way that Wanda learned how to cast the runes.
Oh yeah.
And then used Agatha, and then used it to make it look like she was missing Agatha on purpose, but she was just setting up runes around the dome of Westview. That was amazing. Episode 6 is very closely behind episode 4 for me for Falcon and Winter Soldier, though.
That actually that's a great time right now to bring in the chat. I know, or Roosevelt Cavasso says Taskmaster is suit is awe. I think that's a good word, right? Awe, like it's awe. Yeah, awesome. There we go. That's what he meant to say. And then Maximum Behind the Slaughter puts Falcon and the Winter Soldier first, and I think they're just ranking the shows.
Yeah, that's also
Loki.
Moaz, just so you know, Ricky.
Oh, Moaz, awesome. Moaz, thank you so much. Great to see you again. Thank you, Moaz. So he's got Falcon and the Winter Soldier number 1, Loki number 2, and obviously WandaVision is probably number 3. Let's see. Yeah, and then let's see. Sorry, guys. Yeah, so Moaz says Loki isn't done, so I can't necessarily lock in those rankings. But Josh from NY says the multiverse does have a chance to be bigger than Luke, but yes, it's 2 different franchises. This is on the point that I made of season 2 finale of The Mandalorian being the greatest thing I've ever seen. And but yes, that is actually a great point, Josh. The multiverse, wow, that's a great question. Really quick, just off the top of your head, do you guys have an opinion on that? Can it be bigger than Luke?
Depends on who we get casted as who, and depending on what we see. Like, we might get Sebastian Stan as Captain America.
Oh my god.
Coming into this MCU proper. Like, you never know who they can reuse now as a different version of that character. I don't know if it's going to be as big as a cameo level, or as like a surprise level, but overall, the multiverse is going to be more than what Luke Skywalker was, in my opinion.
It will break the internet. It will break the internet. Anthony?
Man,
that's a hard question, right?
No, not necessarily. Yes, it is a tough question. But all I think about when I think about the multiverse, and I think about what ifs, and maybe in certain multiverse, for example, Iron Man is Tom Cruise, right?
That's what I was thinking.
Maybe in another universe, Hulk is She-Hulk, and it was a woman who pushed Rick out of the way and got exposed to the gamma rays, and that's how they bring in She-Hulk. You never know, right? I mean, it's just endless, what they could do. And so maybe even they can reconcile some characters that maybe got terminated. So maybe the roadie character, they bring back in, I forget the gentleman's name. What's his name?
His name is, he's from Hustle and Flow.
Yeah, from Hustle and Flow. Bring that guy back. Yeah. As a, hey, we feel bad about how this went, so maybe for a quick 10-minute cameo, we're gonna put you in the War Machine suit, right? And just do that. I mean, there's Terrence Howard. There's just so much that they could do, right? Yeah. And so I'm really, I'm just excited as a lover of film, as a lover of movies. What a great time to be alive. I'm so glad I wasn't born in like 1940, because now I wouldn't be alive to see all this great stuff.
I mean, but you would have seen it in comics, though. You would have been able to see it in comics.
It's true. But seeing it on the big screen, and having the technology to make these kinds of movies, I mean, we all are winning. We're just winning. I'm loving it.
Absolutely, 100%. What a time to be alive, everybody. If you want something to get you through the day, always remember there's going to be an Avengers 7 that will probably be better than Avengers Endgame. And with that, let's just keep going down the comments. Evander says, shout out to Evander, welcome. Falcon and the Winter Soldier. Yeah, the Zemo
Zemo.
episode was the best. The Zemo dance episode, yeah, and that's what, episode 3. Yeah. Anthony agrees with you on that one. Let's see. By the way, Chad, I just want to thank you for being here thus far. Today is our first Filmtopia Live. It is a daily talk show of all things movies. And this is a historic moment for all of you that are here. You are our first guests. You are our first audience, everything. And I'm super duper grateful. Now the structure is a little different from the watch parties. The watch parties were really bringing in the chat on screen and vibing off of that. But as I said at the beginning, this show is a little bit more pre-planned, and we have some topics that we're going to run through, and then during certain parts of the stream of this show, we try to bring you in and vibe with you, because I know you guys are doing a great job of keeping the chat lit. So just wanted to bring that up. And I did see a super day one in the chat. It is right here. William is here. Will is in the house. What up, crew? Will, thank you for being here, even if it's just for a little. Guys, I will always mention this, but Will, I think, was one of the first 3 people to enter into a Filmtopia live stream, one of the first few to subscribe to the channel. So forever grateful for that. But yes, Will, I'll say this one time. The Cubs are pretty good this year. All right. I'll give it to you. I'll give it to you.
Chicago,
Cubs
let's go.
and Justin Fields as your draft pick. Oh my God. You guys stole him.
I mean, I don't know about blowing a 7-0 lead in the first inning as being good.
Hey,
but I'm not here to start sports arguments.
Sports arguments is for later. But yeah, so thank you to the chat. Evander, Moaz, Reddick is in the house. Shout out to our moderator, aka castmate, that you will see during the watch parties. Shout out to Reddick. Thank you, my man, and Josh. So thank you guys. But now let's transition back to what I wanted to get into, and the reason why we brought up all this Marvel stuff is because I wanted to ask, and I wanted to ask Anthony. I'm going to start with you. What is your predictions, or what is it? Yeah, what are your predictions for episode 5 of Loki?
Sure. In a world where our Loki will be around a bunch of other types of Lokis, I expect him to be out in front. I expect him to manipulate or try to manipulate the other Lokis to his cause. It should be really interesting. I really want to see that banter between different versions of himself, because I don't believe that any 2 Lokis are exactly the same. And so I'm looking forward to seeing that back and forth. For me, I have always, again, I'm a big dialogue guy, and yes, the action is extremely important, but I love witty banter. Right. And I want to see a lot of that in this episode. And I want to see magic. Again, I am a big proponent of the mystic arts. And I want to see some magic. I want all the feels. And please, I'm begging you, don't save Kang for the final episode. Let us get a taste of Kang. Just a taste of him in this episode. I'm begging you, please.
Oh man, that is a great plea that I will second, and I believe Jonah will also second. And that is actually Jonah. What are your thoughts on Loki episode 5? Do you have any predictions?
I have a lot of predictions for episode 5.
So floor is yours.
Yeah, I mean, so first of all, we're in an apocalyptic world where something went wrong along the timeline. Could have been that Loki won. Could have been that Ultron was successful in dropping Sokovia. We don't know. But those are the two main events that I think caused the apocalyptic world that we're in. And so I'm expecting to get a lot of questions out of our Loki. He's going to be very talkative, very like, what's going on? Like, we're back at episode 1 where he was with the TVA. He's going to be like acting like a child again. He's going to be like, what's that? What's that? What's that? What's that? But I think he's going to quickly get back to where he was mentally with the beheading of the Timekeepers at the end of episode 4. And he's going to start to not necessarily manipulate, but try and figure out how to get out of this place so he can get back to Sylvie. He finally has a reason to fight beyond himself, technically. I mean, since Sylvie is Loki, not going to get into it. It's complicated. But he finally has a reason beyond his self-worth to fight for something. So this Loki that we're going to see in episode 5 and episode 6 is going to be a new Loki that we have never seen before. Whoa. Because he has someone that he is fighting for that he loves more than just as a brother or as a mother or as a father. So there is so much to look forward to. I don't want to accidentally spoil stuff, so I'm not going to go into what I might say because I think I'm going to. I don't know where it's going, but I feel like what I want to say is pretty accurate for just the vibe I've gotten. So I'm not going to go into anything that I might accidentally spoil. But we are in for a very, very intense and driven ride these next 2 episodes. Again, as I said at our live reaction, we're not going to see Sylvie at all this next episode. We're not going to see Ravonna at all this next episode.
Wow.
We might see them in a post-credit scene, but we're not going to see them at all. This is going to be the apocalyptic world. This is going to be Loki trying to get back to Sylvie.
I'm not one to make predictions. I normally leave that to my castmates Lizzie and Jonah. But I'm gonna take a shot at one, and let's see what happens.
Let's do it.
As Anthony would say.
I think that the other Lokis are going to maybe sacrifice some magic or some of their life force or their energy to help our Loki get back from where he's been banished to. I don't know why. I just have this feeling like maybe that's some contribution that they're all gonna make.
You know, and on the filmmaking side, because this series is a fountain of references. Shout out to Kate Herron, the director of the series, and Michael Waldron, the writer, and Natalie Holt, the composer. But I want to say, I feel you on that, Anthony. I don't right now, just off the top of my head, I got like an inkling. You know how Spider-Man has his senses? Well, if you could visualize right now, Filmtopia, Ricky got his Filmtopia senses, and I can't put my thumb on it right now. As far as I'm thinking maybe Dragon Ball Z, when the like a spirit bomb, you know, you give your energy to that.
Yeah.
I'm also getting other vibes where people lend their and sacrifice themselves to make someone else stronger or someone else. Oh man, I'm getting the chills because if that happens, because obviously
each variant has different powers that they gain from being a variant. We learned that Sylvie only has enchantment because of she got taken as a kid. She never got a chance to learn from Frigga how to do all the magic that Loki has. So she gained the enchantment from being on the run and everything. All these Loki variants are going to have different abilities and different powers, and you never know what we're gonna see. Like one of them has a hammer that probably acts the same as Mjolnir, for the most part. Like we have classic Loki, we got Kid Loki, we got Crocodile Loki. There's so many things that are gonna happen. Like we have no idea what we're in store for. Um, we might see a Loki civil war. We might
Oh,
see
man.
like you never know what we're gonna see. That's what I'm saying though. It's just like I'm looking forward to just finding out what powers Loki, this Loki that we have right now, that is our prime Loki, so to say, could learn from these other Lokis
Right.
and gain and eventually find his way back into MCU proper from here
I think
with these new powers.
I think before this show is over, I think that our Loki is going to use Sylvie's power. I think that's why he was asking her questions. He was asking her questions, and he's like, I'm going to try that. I bet you before this show is over, in the next 2 episodes, we're going to see our Loki do what Sylvie does.
And on that point, I was just thinking in my head when Jonah said what he said, and then Anthony, what you said right now, and then tying that back into Dragon Ball Z, which I know Reddick really appreciated. He said Super Saiyan vibes. But you guys remember that very specific scene of Sylvie channeling some Super Saiyan, like
The
powering
yell, yeah.
up? That was, I think that's going to come back in some shape or form. And speaking of Loki taking on Sylvie's like powers or being able to gain some, I think keep an eye out, chat. Keep an eye out for that scene, for that power, whatever that means when Sylvie like basically powered up and screamed. See how Loki somehow ties back to that. I don't know. That's what
I
think.
also want to predict that Sylvie is going to enchant Ravonna, and that will be our introduction to Kang.
Wow.
We're not going to get Kang at all in this series as far as a battle or whatever. Ravonna is the main villain of the series. But through enchantment, we will see Kang, and through enchantment, we will learn about all of the future of Quantum Mania and everything. And that literally just came to me.
Love it.
That literally
Love
just
it.
came to me right now.
Love it, Jonah. Love it, Jonah. Love it.
I've chills talking about it.
Yeah, same. Chills crew, man. This is the Chills crew right here. Oh man, I'm very very excited. And one thing, Anthony, I think you wanted to add something.
No.
No. Okay. Really quick, on the point of Ravonna, I can't remember the actress's name. Chad, if you have it and know it off the top of your head, please let us know. But the actress that plays Ravonna, I want to do a quick shout out to her because she's doing a phenomenal job of making us believe what we've believed so far. And I love her evolution as a character throughout the show. So at the beginning, you see some sort of sternness, some sort of like assurity, or I don't even know if assurity is a word. Assurance, like she was very assured of herself and what she's doing. And then you start to see cracks and chinks in those armors. I saw her progress as a character in a way where, like it's us. It's like the jig is up. We're starting to realize that. And then in turn, inverse, like her, she's starting to realize that we're realizing that. And so she's getting more nervous as a character. To me, she seems like a character that, like, let's say she has a flask or like a bottle in her room or on her desk. I can see that flask getting lower and lower and lower, filled of like alcohol or whatever. Just because like that's where she knows that she's in trouble, or she knows that there's trouble brewing if she doesn't keep this all together. And then that brings in the big baddie of Kang the Conqueror, which we obviously haven't seen yet. We know, thanks to reports, that Jonathan Majors is cast as Kang the Conqueror. Phenomenal actor. And Ant-Man Quantumania is where his debut, like, not maybe not his debut because we don't know yet, but where his presence will be a huge factor in that movie.
And
Basically, the main villain.
that's
Yeah.
why I'm saying the enchantment is how we're gonna learn of him.
Mhm.
Because let's be honest, Loki has already introduced so many characters. Introducing Kang as the main villain in episode 5 or episode 6 kind of feels like how all of us were like, oh, something's gonna happen in episode 8 or 9 of WandaVision, and then nothing happened.
Yeah.
And it was Agatha. It wasn't Ultron. It wasn't Mephisto. It wasn't anyone. It wasn't Nightmare. It was Agatha, and that's why I think we are gonna get Kang, but not in a physical form. We're not gonna get
Ooh.
to see him at all,
Mm.
except
Oh
for
my
memory.
gosh. You guys want to, again, going back on that whole thing of reference, that whole thing of illusions. I think Kate Herron's going to pull a Thanos going into grabbing the gauntlet and saying,
Like,
what's his
fine,
fa-
I'll
what,
do it myself.
fine, I'll do it myself.
Yeah.
Type of like entrance, type of cameo. Oh my gosh, I think that's it. I really, truly, I'm saying it today on Filmtopia Live, episode number 1. My prediction is that we are going to see Kang in only a cameo, and that cameo is going to be very, very similar and very referenced to the Thanos scene where he goes and puts on the gauntlet and says, "Fine, I'll do this myself." um, oh man, I'm so excited. I know Reddick was in the chat for us, and he says that I believe the actress's name is Gugu Mbatha Raw. I think that's what. Yeah, I think that's the name. Now, the other thing was Billy brought up Sylvie might go through the files that Loki wanted to go through, but the librarian said those files are unable or like aren't available
They're
to anyone to
unavailable.
see. So there, I feel like again we're gonna get these callbacks or these things that are gonna pay off. We're gonna get those library files that are gonna pay off. We're gonna hopefully get that Sylvie's powers, how they tie back in. What else? Man, this can go on and on and on.
Well, I mean, we're gonna get so many more powers for Loki. We get Kid Loki. Young Avengers roster is filled. We have all 8 members lined up, and the Young Avengers movie is going to be insane. Kang is one of the main villains of the Young Avengers as well. So I really think that Kang is going to be our next big bad for the next maybe 2 or 3 phases of MCU. And the cool thing about Kang is that he can disappear and he can come back at any time because he is a time traveler. So we never know when we'll see the last of him, which I love. As a Kang fan, I'm so excited to have this reoccurring character that they can just pull and say that he's been pulling strings this entire time. So I'm looking forward to this expansion of the MCU and everything that is going to be coming with it.
Can you imagine Feige's board? You just imagine his board. It's got to be bananas right now.
I mean, we have like the next like 3 years,
Right?
like, and that's a lot as is. Like, we basically have Marvel coming out every month or every other month, like the next 4 years, and there's more on top of all of this.
Let's like really quick. Let's break it down just on the spot. So check this out. Kevin Feige says that he works 5 years ahead. This is something he said before. So he works 5 years ahead. So that means they're right now in 2026. We know, the fans know, basically 3 years ahead, things that aren't in production, things that are going to be in production, things that are being written. So with that said, Feige says 5 years. But to be honest, I truly think that that's a public statement, the thing they're trained to say. I would predict, and I would love to hear what you guys think. I say Feige is 7 years ahead. I add 2 to his 5. What do you guys think?
He may even be 10 years ahead.
10 years.
Yeah, I would say rather than years, I think he's at least the 30 projects ahead of what we've been shown. That's how much work I think he's putting into developing this, because this is his baby, and it has blown up, and I feel like that's all he puts his time into right now. Is so instead of like a 5-year thing, I think because look at what we have right now. We have like 18 things coming out in the next 3 years, and they're 5 years ahead. So there's another 12 at least right there. Let's say 6 things a year for Marvel. You have 6 things a year, 5 years in the future, and they're working on 2026 right now.
Man, I gotta eat my fruits and vegetables so I can stick around long enough to see all this.
Yeah, I mean, the MCU is going to be here for a long time. We're going to see a lot of characters come and go. We're going to see a lot of characters possibly even return. Like, you never know. We might see Steve Rogers come back. We might see Tony Stark come back in the future. Like, you never know where they're going to go with anything. And part of me is happy that I don't know what they're planning.
You know what else we don't think about? What we don't think about is that each and every Marvel movie that comes out is really considered a classic that can never be rebooted, right? When you think of some of the great movies that have been that they want to reboot, Scarface, right? Dude. Are you kidding me? Right? Godfather 1 and 2, you know what I'm saying? Like, there are certain movies that you can never ever reboot, and I honestly feel these Marvel movies fall under that category. You can't reboot Iron Man 1. You can't reboot that. It is cemented in history.
Dude, I've never thought of that until right now. Anthony, that is such a great point, because it is a ongoing franchise that, oh my God, like, that's so true. It will never, ever be repeated. What we see each time is a new innovation, whether it's good or bad, and it's usually good, but it's a new innovation, and it's a staple, and it does not change. And then going to Jonah's point earlier, which was, but the way they can cleverly and actually like feasibly and believably do it is via the multiverse, which now allows, like you said, Anthony, Tom Cruise, Iron Man, if just for, something in giggles. Oh my gosh, that's a great point, because I'm a big proponent of leaving like the classics. And again, going back to the Marvel projects, maybe not each one is like a certified classic, but it is a part of a conglomerate that makes up a classic. Just Marvel Studios, Marvel Cinematic Universe is that classic.
Right.
And oh man, that is pretty cool.
We will see an Iron Man 4, and it will be with someone then it will not be Tony Stark. Or at least Robert Downey Jr.
Or maybe he'll be the new AI for his daughter. Maybe Ironheart, she'll be the new Iron Man, perhaps. Maybe he made a disc, a little drive like he did for Jarvis and for what's the new AI? It's a
Friday. Karen for Peter.
Yeah. And there actually is, if I'm not mistaken, in one of the movies when he's going through, I believe that's Age of Ultron. He's going through his new, he's going through his different drives. I even saw one for Jaconta. I don't know if you guys know who that is. I
think so.
That's a female vision that I believe Ultron was creating to be a companion to Vision. If I'm not mistaken, chat, let us know if that's true. But maybe Tony somewhere has a bunch of drives, and one of them is his own drive, right? His own drive, and that's going to be the new AI. He could be the new Jarvis in the suit. That would be fantastic.
Oh man,
the possibilities are endless. That's the point.
But also, on top of that, I feel like Morgan Stark could create that AI.
She misses her dad. And so she made an algorithm that she can talk to.
She misses her dad, and then that would coincide with Robert Downey saying, "You know what? I could use another 50 million. I'll
Yeah.
take it." And then so going back to the character arcs that were beautifully, masterfully finished in the Infinity Saga, that is wrapped up, sealed, a classic in and of itself. Now, if you give me a little bit of time, like I think they're going to, and then you bring back Robert Downey in whatever fashion, it will make so much a sense, which will enhance the story because story is king and queen. But secondly, I think us as the fans would really appreciate it and still understand that his arc was in a way finished in the Infinity Saga, and this is a new arc. And us, the fans, can really digest that. Us, the fans, can really appreciate that versus there being a division in the fandom and saying, like the fandom saying, "Oh man, this sucks. Oh man, it's a cash grab. Oh man,
Right.
it's annoying. Can't they innovate?" Well, again, I think the way they're trending is going to be innovative, an innovation in and of itself.
Mm.
So, man, so many great things happening for the for the MCU and for us, the fans.
Yes.
Oh man. Josh from NY says he probably, this is Kevin Feige. Kevin Feige probably has a board with the end goals and then builds the movies and shows to reach those goals. Now, how many big events does he have on his board? Good question. One insight into like the process of like an overarching story is you start or this is often the case, or this happens very frequently, which is you start with the end and you work your way backwards.
So the end being Galactus.
There you go. Exactly. So you end up on with those things on the board first.
Right.
And once those things are on the board, then you're like, okay, just like the timeline, visually you get to see it. You've got all these variant timelines going to Doctor Strange 2, No Way Home.
Right. Right.
And that actually segues perfectly into one of those variant timelines that I wanted to talk about. And that is, let's see if I can bring it up. That is Wakanda Forever, Black Panther 2. Guys, if you are not aware, just yesterday, we got word that Black Panther 2 began its production. And that is huge news for two reasons. One, the script is ready to go, but secondly and more importantly, it is the beginning of a new era because our King T'Challa, Chadwick Boseman, is obviously no longer with us, and condolences to his family and to everyone that ever loved him. He to me will be Black Panther forever, and he has meant so much not only to the Marvel community, not only to the comic book community, not only to the movie community, but to this world as a whole. He was looked at as an inspiration. He was looked at as a man of faith, as a man of greatness. For any of you, definitely go check out, his story. Go check out where he comes from. Go check out his path to where to how he became Black Panther. But I just wanted to spend a little bit of time just giving our praise and our love and all of that to Chadwick Boseman and his family. But with that, Ryan Coogler, the director of Black Panther 1 and Black Panther 2, is also writing Black Panther Wakanda Forever. And there's obviously been a need for rewrites and all that stuff. So now that the script is in place and now that Black Panther 2 has begun production, Anthony, I wanted to hear a little bit about what are your expectations for Black Panther 2 and where do you think like this is going?
Sure. It's a great question. First of all, rest in heaven Chadwick King. You know, the man, the actor, the person, the husband, the black man that he was. No words, right? His story is incredible. Denzel Washington funding the scholarship for him to go to acting school. I mean, that's an incredible story. So I like to put that in a box on its own. You will truly be missed. And for what you did for the franchise, for the Marvel Universe, for the character, it goes beyond words. But I'm going to say something controversial. I personally feel that the character has to be bigger than the actor, right? Yes, he is a fantastic Black Panther. He's the first one, and I will always love him for that contribution. However, throughout history, we have lots of characters, and actors move on. They change career. They move on. They pass away. Sean Connery is my favorite 007, right? But I would not say he's the only character that will ever play 007, right? I love Daniel Craig. I love that version. Before that, I loved Pierce Brosnan, right? I loved Christopher Reeve as Superman. But I like Zack Snyder's Superman. I like that guy, right? Yeah. And so, I never want to say that he will be the only guy to play the character, because then we pigeonholed ourselves to not having an open mind to accepting the new person who comes along. You're seeing a lot of that happening with the Batman character. You're seeing a lot of people being resistant to Robert Pattinson, right? Oh, the Twilight guy? Nah, right? And so that's where I'm at with that. Moving forward with the new story, I would love for them to play homage to his character, but at the same time, we've got to get another person in the character. I personally don't want to see Siri as Black Panther. I know that she's in the comics right now. I know that she's playing Black Panther. Too soon, right? Let's give that a few movies. Let's wait. Let's use that for Young Avengers or something along those lines. Right now, we need to try to get somebody else into that costume, and get the fans 2 movies in, maybe 2 more movies, to get us used to him, get us acclimated to him, and the fans can handle it. We can handle it. When Terrence Howard left as War Machine, I was like, oh man, who they gonna get? You know? And then they got when they came with Don Cheadle, I was he's too short. The guy from Hotel Rwanda, he's too old. It was like a lot of things ran through my mind. And then he came right out, Iron Man 2, and addressed it right to the camera. I'm here, deal with it. And so I think the fans I think the fans can handle it. I think, of course it's going to be a little, shaky, but it's all in the script writing, right? Do you put someone new in there and just, he is the same character? Do you kill off this guy and you put someone else in? I don't want to see Killmonger as Black Panther. I don't like when villains have hero turns. I'm not a big fan of it. I didn't like it in Star Wars, and I would not like it in Black Panther, seeing Killmonger become the new Black Panther. Just put another actor in his place, John Boyega or someone who has the chops to do it, and let's go. With regards to the script, I know I'm talking long, but I really want to see. I would love it if they would bring Kraven the Hunter. I wanted to see Kraven the Hunter in this, not Spider-Man, right? Why? Because he's in the jungle, right? At least introduce the character. And then if you want to push him over to Spider-Man, that's fine. Or if you want to have a Black Panther 2 movie, and then you want to bring Kraven over, maybe have a cameo with Spider-Man, or do something like that. But at the end of the day, in Coogler we trust. He's a
Yes.
great director, and I got all the feels. I have no doubt that it's going to be great. And according to the cast, there's been some interviews done. They said that the script gives great homage to Chadwick. So I think it's going to be a fantastic movie.
Yeah. No, on that point, speaking about introducing a new Black Panther. I think that's essential. I think that's something that needs to happen. I am right now open to the idea of like who it could be. But one of the things that I like just from like the reports and stuff is I haven't seen anybody sign on new, right? Like anybody new signed on for that movie. Um, so there must be some sort of promotion or like some sort of elevation to Black Panther within characters that we've already seen. And although Anthony, you said you wish it's someone like kind of new, fresher. Uh, I'm along the same lines as you. I just don't think that that's gonna happen, just because I think we would have found out by now. You know what I mean? Like
Mm.
we'd hear reports about who it could be, who signed on, right? We would know if John Boyega signed on. Like now, if it's the best kept secret, like I'm getting chills right now thinking if that could happen. Like that would be cool. I love secrets, and I love, oh my god, Doctor Strange, Multiverse of Madness. Give me the press tours via a Zoom with no video on. I'll take that any day. I don't want to see anything. I don't wait till the promo and wait till the actual movie. I'm cool with that. If they do the same with Black Panther, I'm good with that. but that's I want to pose the question to you now, Jonah. What are your expectations for Black Panther, Wakanda Forever?
So, real quickly, we're all on the same page. We need someone in that Black Panther suit. We're entering a new phase of Marvel where anything is possible. They're not going to tell us who they're putting in the role because they don't want backlash. We will get someone who is big to be playing an alternate universe's Black Panther that will be coming in and taking Chadwick Boseman's place.
Gosh.
Okay.
Dude,
whether that be John Boyega, whether that be someone else, whether it be Michael B. Jordan. We have so many different multiverses that we can explore and that we might get someone from. And the way that we explain it is that Doctor Strange, somehow Black Panther dies. We get a Doctor Strange cameo, and Doctor Strange brings in a new Black Panther, or whatever it is. But I mean,
you know what else I was thinking? If they want to, if they want to take a little bit of the edge off of fandom, worried about the casting, they might want to consider doing this. My suggestion, and Feige, I know you're listening. I would literally have a casting call in Africa. Find an actor that's from Africa, who's good looking and buffed and has some acting chops that you can come and bring over. I think that would take a little bit of the sting out of it, because I don't know if you guys know, but there's been a lot of discussion lately about casting, especially when it comes to African Americans. They've been casting characters that are specifically African American, but they've been using actors that are mostly from like Great Britain, England. And within the community, I hear a lot of barbershop talk how people don't like this. People they didn't like having an English woman playing Harriet Tubman, right? Mm-hmm. Who Harriet Tubman is definitely African American, right? And so I think that would take a little bit of the sting out. Let's be honest. Black Panther, yes, is huge, and it brought a lot of people out, but it brought a lot of Black fans to Marvel. And I think that this would be a great bridging of the gap, and to take a little bit of that hurt and that pain from us losing Chadwick. What do you guys think?
I'm down for whatever, and the multiverse is going to bring us whatever the multiverse is going to bring us.
Okay. I'm definitely open to not open. I would root for a casting in Africa. I think that would be amazing. I think if you're gonna cast people from all around the world, whether it's Australia, whether it's Great Britain, the United States, India, I think Africa needs to be considered. It's the largest continent on this planet, or one of the largest, and I'm totally with you on that. I would love to see it. Kevin Feige, if you're listening, that is our request. So take it as you may. It Wakanda forever. But with that, guys, I just want to say it is coming up to the hour of 11 a.m. or wherever you're at. It is 11 a.m. Pacific Standard Time. I just want to say we have reached the end. And I'm just gonna say I think this show went really, really well. I had a lot of fun. It was incredible being able to talk movies in the morning. First thing you do, in the morning is get to talk about movies, and I get to talk about it with my friends. That's a blessing. Um, I'm just very grateful to both of you for being here, for riding the ship with me. And what'd you guys think?
I'll let Anthony go first.
Um, it was great. Again, a little nervous, so I'll shake off the jitters as I as we progress. In episode 350, I'll be like, but no, it was fantastic. Thank you, of course, Ricky, for having me. I predict that there will be episodes where we will disagree vehemently about a specific topic. But we're friends, and that's friends. Friends don't always get along. And it's like when I'm on the basketball court, you're not my friend. You're not my friend right now. So you throwing them bows,
Patrick Beverly and Chris Paul last night.
There it is.
Yeah.
And so no, I'm really encouraged. I'm glad for the people who are in the chat who are bigging us up and supporting us. And to you fans, you fellow Filmtopians, can't wait to see you next time. Look forward to it.
Thank you, Anthony.
I'm along the same page. I mean, this was new for me. I had to move everything around mentally and create this space for my morning time, and just the interactions that we have, our chemistry that's built up from the live streams, from Loki, and from the end of Falcon to now. Our chemistry is starting to click and get better and better. And with this format, our chemistry, I didn't think it would take that it's really melding together. I thought it would take a little bit of a drop off just because it's us three and we're trying to figure everything out, but I definitely feel like our chemistry, it took a little dip just because we're trying to figure out the format, but it's still there. Everything is still there. You still got us three. You got guys being dudes and talking about film. This is just gonna get better and better, and I cannot wait to see you guys tomorrow.
Exactly. Thank you for that, Jonah. Today was, for everybody out there, today was episode 1 of Filmtopia Live, our daily Monday through Friday talk show about all things movies. So this is my recommendation. Get your fix of sports with First Take. That's from 7 a.m. to 9 a.m. Pacific Standard Time. Or if you're a Skip and Shannon guy and you like Undisputed, watch that for your sports. And then at 9 a.m. when those guys finish, you know where to come. You know where to find us. This is the place to come hang out and just vibe, right? If everybody out there reading Anthony's shirt, vibes all the way. But yeah, this was pretty incredible. I just want to again let everybody know that we are going to be doing this Monday through Friday. So that means tomorrow, Friday, we will be here at the same time, 9 a.m. Pacific Standard Time. We go for about 2-ish hours. And the format is a little different than the actual watch party live streams. This one is a little bit more pre-produced. We have some topics coming in, and so we really want to be able to talk about that and give you guys our best takes on it. What I love to do, what I'm trying to do, is integrate the chat as much as I can. So there will be pockets throughout the show where we for sure answer some questions and we for sure recognize who's here. And also one way I want to get you guys involved as well is I said this at the beginning, but I'll say this now. If there is, I'm going to start off each show saying, "Hi, my name is Ricky. This is Filmtopia, and blank blank." And what I mean by blank blank is I want you guys to insert a famous movie quote. So I will say something like, "Hi, my name is Ricky. This is Filmtopia, and why so serious?" So what I need you guys to do is do one of two things. In the live chat, if you're watching this live, put it in the live chat and type out like a famous movie quote you guys want, or in the comments down below, if this is a replay for you, leave it down below. "Hi, my name is Ricky. This is Filmtopia, and blank blank," and you fill in the blank blank. Jonah, I want to know what's up.
No, I'm just thinking of responses.
You're gonna be the one commenting, huh? You're gonna go after this. You're gonna
Nah.
go type up like
Nah. I'm not gonna type up any of mine, but I'm just thinking of some in my head, and they're all memes and
Got
involving our favorite Mobius.
Wow. That's a great one. I love that one. I love
Well,
that
that
one.
wasn't even the one I was thinking of.
But hey, that's the one
I
that...
was thinking of the animated movie.
Wow. I'm not even gonna say it, but
No.
wow. But with that, I think that is a great vibe to end off on. I do want to go ahead and just shout out everybody in the chat: Josh from NY, Anmalo, Preet, Moaz, Reddick, Billy,
Ulysses showing up at the
Evander.
end.
Yeah, let's see. Yes. Ulysses says, "Shout out to Filmtopia." That's how I interpret that. And Billy says, "Vibes. Crash is here. Wait till Otis, he'll love us." I am, yeah. And see, they're already coming in. They're already coming in. I cannot wait.
Hey, and chat, get at me on social media. I take on all challengers. If you want to get at these thumbs, Madden, 2K, you name it, Street Fighter, I got you. Mortal Kombat, let's go.
Hey, what about FIFA?
I'll work on it. I'll work on it.
That's the one I'm going to beat you in.
I'll work on it.
MLB the show. MLB the show.
Okay, now, yeah, we can do a little something. Let's go.
Oh man, no, well,
we
awesome,
sports
man.
now.
Seriously, oh man, I love it. And that's the thing, guys. I want you guys to know out there, this is a free flowing show. This is a show that I want to be. It's about movies at the core, at the heart of it is movies, but there will be times where we're able to venture into something like sports, and it will feel supernatural. Even if you do or don't like sports, I promise you, it will be a load of fun. Just stick with us. Make sure to hit like on this video. This helps the video get out. And if you're not already subscribed, I highly recommend you subscribe. We are on a journey unlike any other. It is going to be amazing to see how this community grows. And at the core of this, at the core of Filmtopia, not only is it movies, but it's also community. And as you can see, this is not a me thing. This is a we thing. And with that said, let's go ahead and sign off. I know how we start the show, but let's actually end the show just like that. Sound good? Ready? On 3. 1, 2, 3.
Vibes.
Later. Filmtopia Live episode 1 is wrapped.